So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. First possession of the second half now for Washington.
Looking to put a drive together.
The drive begins with a carry by Krosky Merritt.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 3. On the bootleg, it's Daniels. Over the middle, he has Okonkwo. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Daniels going to give to Krosky Merritt.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd down and 8. Play action, now it's Daniels. He'll swing this out to Krosky Merritt.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
The Texans offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Stroud looking to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. On the return is Williams. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. As the home team's offense makes their way back out, we show you the defensive coordinator for the visiting team. His guys trail here in the second half, and things haven't gone quite their way, so that makes this upcoming possession an important one to not let this deficit get any worse.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here's Krosky-Merritt to start the drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Here's Daniels.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think there he had to come off of his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy, unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that. Incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Daniels. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Here's Knoll.
Ooh, with a juke. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return.
And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense taking over again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They pitch it out to Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
They'll go play action here with Stroud. This one swung out to Montgomery.
So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the 1st down to go along with it.
Stroud to throw it.
That's caught by Montgomery.
Down inside the 10.
And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
They'll run with Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 40 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
Mills to throw it.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn comes on. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. Oh, able to avoid him. And running with power here. He's past the 30. He will score.
Touchdown, Washington.
I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there.
Moody good with the extra point.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
Commanders 31, Texans 6.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Texans as you get a look at offensive coordinator Nick Caley. These guys trail here in the second half. So every drive important now as they try to mount a comeback. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
Just shy of the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage held their spot, and stacked him up.
Off the play fake, Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, it's Krosky-Merritt. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They go play action. Daniels. Whipping one into Allen. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up second down.
Daniels with a give to Krosky-Merritt.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Daniels. And that will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
Houston set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Looking to throw is Mills. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Daron Payne. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Houston.
Here's Williams to return.
Fighting his way through contact. It's a nifty return of 29 yards.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw is Daniels.
Got his man complete over the middle.
That's Williams. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On first down, here's Krosky Merritt. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Daniels looking to throw. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
It's now 3rd and
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Chigakakro with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Commanders are pouring it on. His great season throwing the ball continues. That last touchdown pass, number 40 for him on the year. Extra point try now for Moody. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Houston. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing this.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Dorrance Armstrong in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Now Mills.
And he comes back with one complete.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line.
They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 34.
Mills.
Caught by Montgomery. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got room at the 30.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. On play action, Mills.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Caught on the slant.
And the Texans are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Throwing, Mills.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Here's Mills.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It's a sack for a loss of 4, and that brings up 3rd down and goal.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Now 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on third down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown. Offensively, are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should fourth down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I we enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
To the air goes Daniels. That is caught.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
A gain of 10 yards.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They'll try the right side here with White. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
103 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. It's Williams on the catch. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
3rd and
2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Daniels.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And that one complete once again to Higgins.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Mills now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Higgins goes in motion right.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw, Mills.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Mills to throw for it on 4th.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. First down. Here's Krosky Merritt. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there on 2nd down.
He was brought down by Dominique Robinson. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line.
Play action. Now it's Daniels. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's good.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Rachaad White, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders extend this fourth quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Now Moody for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Working out of the gun, Mills. That's complete to Dell. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Mills to throw it. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Part of my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And they will take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Commanders,
the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.